Hey guys, I'm RozaldVaneGAME, and welcome back to another episode of Batman: The Enemy Within. Where we last left off was that we're still in episode 5, the final episode of the game. So far, we had the whole sequence of dealing with Joker and Harley in the last episode, and I really enjoyed the last episode. That was a really good sequence that I have probably would say that is familiar with a lot of the games that I've played in the past with Batman in general. Yeah, if anything, we've captured Joker and Harley. But Waller said that she's pulling out all the agents from the city of Gotham, but I have a feeling that's a lie to some capacity. I mean, we'll see about that, because I feel like she wouldn't just take the villains with her, or that she will probably take the villains with her, including Catwoman. And I have a big concern over that. But then again, she did say that she was still having the collar on Catwoman, so there is no promise that she will take that collar off. Though she did remove the criminal record off of Catwoman, which is kind of like a gimme, since that was an option that I could probably pull. So, I mean, I wanted to be nice with everyone. But anyways, other than that, we're waiting on Waller's message to say where Tiffany's at, because she said that she saw Tiffany on a rooftop. So we'll be going to Tiffany if that's the case here. Otherwise, we're just kind of assessing the damage that we kind of went through so far with this episode, because we're kind of still like probably halfway, I guess. Let me take a quick alt tab here. Oh yeah, we didn't even hit the 4th chapter in this episode. Okay, yeah, we only have 3 achievements for this episode, so there is 3 more achievements in this. So we are only halfway through this episode. I can't believe we are halfway. But I mean, usually if it's halfway, it doesn't mean that like the chapters are like longer. They usually are shorter. But it makes sense because that this episode is longer, because they did kind of skimp out on the length of episode 4 and 3 a little bit. And so I'm assuming that this is going to be a lot longer, because they want to wrap everything up in a nice, tidy bow. I mean, this episode's starting to kind of like it's starting to make up for whatever the 3rd and 4th episode felt like quality-wise or like storytelling-wise. That this episode seems kind of like the right taste and the right quite a formula to make it like really good so far. But otherwise, let's get going, because it looks like we might have a lot more to go through. Mayor's office. Okay, back to the beginning again. It's always the office. Batman once again. How did Tiffany even develop that, though? Or maybe Tiffany was hired by Waller. Yeah, it is Tiffany, from a zoom-in perspective. How did she get her hands on that weapon? That's the question. That's my question. How did she get her hands on that? She's gonna tell us the truth, isn't it? She's gonna tell us, like, who actually gave her the weapon and how she knew where she was supposed to be at with a lot of these things.
Tiffany. We need to talk.
Yeah, I figured.
Are you a secret agent? Is she the Huntress?
I made it. Thinking someday I'd be fighting by your side. Not running from you.
Because that outfit
I was
reminds
working
me
up
of
the
the
courage
Huntress.
to tell you. Joker? He just guessed it somehow. Said he knows another psychopath when he sees one.
That makes sense.
It was almost a relief to admit it. I'm sorry you found out that way.
You know I don't condone killing. Not even scum like Riddler.
Yeah.
I've been dreading this moment. Especially since I learned who you are under that mask. I was afraid of what might happen if you found out. I guess I was hoping you never would.
You could have told me.
Why didn't you talk to me sooner?
Yeah. Even if you killed, you should have told me.
I wanted to work with you, to be part of your mission.
But
you kept this from me.
Yeah, you have to lay it all out, like me.
I know. I'm sorry. I knew this would ruin everything.
You were right.
Riddler tore my family apart, Bruce.
What? How? Just the father's gone, isn't it?
My mother hasn't left the house since the funeral.
Oh.
And Luke? He just lashes out.
Damn.
My father's death broke them. It broke all of us. I won't ask for forgiveness. But I hope you can understand why I had to do it. I just felt so powerless. Like my life was crumbling around me.
Revenge is an impulse, one to be checked.
Yeah.
I can't condone it. But I do understand it.
I mean,
Thank
truth
you.
be told, that's the case, usually.
That means a lot. I couldn't bear it if you despised me.
I didn't really have that choice to begin with.
So, where do we go from here? I suppose this puts me on your most wanted list.
You need to face
Rather than
justice?
working
No, I'm just gonna
If
stick
you
with the
want to fill your
mentor.
father's shoes, you need to learn right from wrong.
Yeah.
You need someone to teach you.
You're giving me a second chance?
I mean, as
Think
long
of
as you
it
don't
more as a
kill, that's all it
sentence.
is.
You'll have to work hard for your redemption.
Just don't kill, that's all it is. It's simple as hell, dude. You kill the first time, but I hope you regret it, like, by a lot.
I promise I won't let you down.
Then let's get started.
You need to get moving then. What character is she? I don't even get it. I'm so confused with how she's doing it. I'm so confused with Tiffany's, like... I'm so confused with Tiffany's, like, sort of, like, responsibilities. Fractured, achievement unlocked. I'm so confused with Tiffany's sort of, like, responsibilities or, like the way she's handling things. Like, who is she in turn besides Lucius's, like... Lucius's sort of, like, future embodiment? Persona?
I was
Alfred.
going to write a note, but I'm not a coward. At least I don't want to be.
He's leaving.
Not anymore. Then again, this won't be the first time I've found my courage in a single malt.
Courage for what?
Leaving.
Saying goodbye.
Yep.
I'm leaving, Bruce.
Okay then.
Really? That's all.
Well, what do you want me to say? If you want to go, Alfred, go. Who am I to stand in your way?
Yeah.
Very well then. Since you seem to care little for my reasons, I'll be on my way.
Wait, what? That didn't give me didn't give me the options to say anything. This is the stupidest thing ever.
Rubbish goes out on Tuesday, and there's lasagna in the
Wait,
freezer.
what? That's so
I'm
unfair,
sure you'll
game. I didn't realize that was actually gonna shut him off from telling his reason. Oh, come on. That was a garbage thing to see. I didn't like that. Why? So his part of his story is over? Oh my god. That's such a stupid thing. Oh my god, I'm angry. Wait, that was it? Same Stitch? Darkest Before the Dawn achievement unlocked. Wait, what? That was it? Wait, so I needed to actually continue with Alfred in order to continue the story, isn't it? Oh, come on. Really? That was it with chapter 5? Or episode 5 with 5.5? That's so stupid. Just because I made the wrong choice, they just cut me out of the ending. Your choices are ready. Wait, why did I get evaluated? I don't get it. Harley Quinn.
You got that look in your eye, the kind that says you're trouble.
Alright. I guess that's the line. Jailbird. So I got the minority of the group, I guess, with this option. Harley was ecstatic that the heist at the Wayne Enterprises went off without a hitch. Okay, I guess. Who's next? Joker? Waller.
Thunderbolt! I'm the whole goddamn hurricane!
Oh, okay, that line specifically was weird. I also am a minority of the director of the agency thing. After everything you've been through, Waller knows better than to reveal your secret. Gordon. I like how he's
Some
just...
safety is slipping out from under me and I can't stand it.
Commissioner. 30% of people chose Commissioner for this. Wait, is this a buildup of the whole thing? Or is it just after the choices I made with Waller that kind of resulted in the percentages the way they are right now? Was there, like, multiple titles that they could get? I'm kind of curious about that. It didn't tell me, like... It's not explicitly mentioning what titles I've given them via Catwoman. I'm guessing Lover.
weighed my options, and what can I say? I don't like to lose.
Everyone didn't like wiping her criminal record. Only 3%. Less than 3%. Oh my god, on the prowl. I mean, it's supposed to be like that, you know? I mean, her criminal record probably went through a lot, and it's still probably going to continue doing that. Now that you had Waller a clear criminal record, she has the freedom to decide the future. Okay, whatever. Tiffany. I'm assuming I'm on the minority side of this too.
I won't let you down.
No, I'm in the majority. Nice. Tiffany felt betrayed when you admitted your involvement in Lucius's death. Yeah, so it's protege. So that's the word that I was thinking of. Like, is she just serving as a purpose of protege to Lucius? Or is she just kind of like the considered Robin of the character line for this game, I guess? I was confused by that, though. Avesta?
The criminally insane.
Not a
You're
lot of
drawn
people.
to them, aren't you?
Not a lot of people seems to take the COO position with her, I guess. I guess they weren't trustworthy of her either. I don't know. I'm just like, I feel like this ending was anticlimactic. I don't know why. Alfred?
If a man hides in plain sight for that long, does he forget who he really is?
Parts unknown. I really want to actually, but at the same time, it did say that Alfred's part of the story ended, so I'm confused by why they say that when there was a bat signal in the distance, and I'm just like, what? I'm confused. Joker. Spooking everyone. I mean, everyone knew it was Joker, but John Doe,
We're two threads in
the
the
best
same
enemy.
stitch, bound together, even under strain.
John Doe, best enemy. I mean, at least it's 30% people, I guess. Oh, so this is a shake the hand or not? Yeah. That's an easy choice of not doing, but I did it because I just felt like it. I didn't do it because I didn't expect him to electrocute me. I had that feeling. You and 80% heard Gordon back out of his deal with Joker. Did he betray you? I don't know what the answer would have been for that. Did you determine the fate of others with Waller? Yes, a lot of us did. Did you give up the cowl so Alfred would stay? Oh, you spoiling son of a gun question. So 6% refused to hear his last words, which is not a good thing. Yeah, of course I would have chosen this if I knew the options, because the 3 options didn't really stick out to me as much. Like, I didn't think there was not going to lead up into a conversation. That was kind of stupid. Which Joker did you defeat? The villain Joker. Got it. A lot of us a good chunk of us kind of defeated him, but not the other half, which basically didn't. I guess they kind of like really just lean in on the I don't care about Joker anymore, screw you kind of thing. I feel like happened there with everybody. So the only option I did poorly on was Alfred, which I kind of felt that one was poorly explained to me. Everything else kind of seems plausible. This one I regret. I actually don't. I would love to replay this ending scene to just see what I did wrong, or see the other option, because I actually didn't mean to select this option in general. Photos collected. Wait, what is this? Oh, if I didn't smash the phone, the photos would have continued, isn't it? I think that would have been what happened with that photo thing. Yeah, because I smashed the phone, Joker's phone, in the middle of it all. So, Asylum. Arkham Asylum, as always.
We had so much fun, Joker. I just couldn't stay away.
I knew you wouldn't be able to, Bruce. Let's get you ready.
I see. Obsessed of making me into a Joker character, I guess. Batman, the Telltale series, The Enemy Within. Though I do find it strange because that... Oh, there's the 6. The last laugh achievement unlocked. Wait, then what the hell was that picture, though? Okay, we're back in the main menu again. I wonder if we can select the chapters that we get to choose for this game. Let me choose the chapters and go back to like certain scenes. I kind of want to see how. What's more options? Restart. Oh no. I don't want to restart. Wait, this is the only option. What are you talking about? Oh my god, I can't even see what happens then. Oh man. Does it truly restart? I mean, this is the only button I get. I don't get to select. Yeah, I don't get to select whatever things there is. I guess that's how it is, but I think the option would have been like give up as Batman kind of thing, or stay as Batman for whatever reason. And I think most people will stay as Batman. I hate that I can't go back to the save, dude. You know what? Give me a second. Give me a quick second. Let me see if this is gonna be possible. But we basically finished the game, so that's pretty good. Give me a very quick second. You can see the bright light. This is just me looking up something. Save files for Batman. Enemy within. Let's see if we can rewind a chapter. I highly doubt it. Just read my post and send me a message giving advice on how to fix the problem. That was unexpected. Blah blah blah. Just figured out how to transfer save files. If your save file isn't being recognized, I played up to episode 3 and then upgraded my PC and had to grab save files from my backup. Just probably goes without saying, but if you don't have the original save files, this won't work. Okay, so that's how it works, I guess. Okay. I'm gonna scan this out. Give me a quick second. It'll be a cut probably for you guys, and then I'll probably see if we can rewind a little bit backwards if it's saved the way I think it's going to save. If not, then I'll talk about it, or I'll look it over, I guess. I'll watch it on video and kind of leave it at that, but we'll see. Alrighty, welcome back. After this little cut, hopefully. So I took a very quick glance. Save file actually does not seem to exist. So whatever choices I made is whatever I made, technically. Yeah, so I would suggest, number one thing I will suggest is, if you really want to see a perfect run of the game, I took a quick glance into YouTube and found videos that there is actually multiple ways of things happening, I think. And I think I chose to run it in a way that's more different from how I guess running from against like other people. I think this is, I think I had the worst run. I honestly think. Well, number one, I messed up on Alfred's run. Which I did want to get into a conversation with, and that would have extended this episode to like 5 more minutes, because you actually get into you kind of get at length the conversation to Alfred of like what you have done in the past in season 1, and the conversation also bleeds into what you have done in this whole season, technically. So they kind of like reevaluate your whole thing. Alfred is kind of like the therapist kind of character where he just lays it out on you and say like, you did this, which led me to believe this way, and this, you did that, and then led me to be that way. And so Alfred kind of is like the last straw between what you want to be and what you don't want to be in the future. So you can either choose to be giving up the Batman position, or you can stick with the Batman position, which I'm assuming that the choice would lead into the fact that we can give up as Batman, which is interesting to see. I think the whole choice of it all actually plays out, but it's so hard to see because there wasn't an explicit reason to like know if you chose the right choices or not. Like, I mean, this is like the way that Telltale Games wanted to make Batman, is to make it the way you as a player want to play this game. So alternatively, I will probably still have to mention that if you want to see the best route, either go to YouTube or just go and play the game yourself and try to figure out which one is the best pathway to the best solution to what you think it is. I do think this game does have high value of replayability. I actually would say that much, because I'm surprised that this is actually one of those games that actually take that path to do the thing. But I still think there's a lot of inconsistency with the writing a little bit here and there, with like what actions were being made or what kind of line results in the thing that I think. That last line with Alfred talking felt just as close to The Wolf Among Us, where the one famous scene where you say glass him, which I will talk about when I ever choose to play Wolf Among Us, which will probably be in the future somewhere. But literally, the word glass him either means you're passing the glass to the guy, or you just, like, you know, cheers to him. But it's not that. It's not those two options. It's just the fact that you smash him with a glass into the head. It's just like, why? Why do you write it like that and then make people assume that that was the right safe choice, but it's not the safe choice you think it is? It's like the writing is there to just fool you, to make you think that you chose the right option, but it's like, no. You chose to shut him off, and that's it. Like, that's the end of it. And it's a shame because you don't get to rewind this game. You had to replay the whole thing, the whole episode itself, just to get the thing you want to get. So I'm just like, what? Anyways, but yes, this is one way of playing it, just to saying that, and this is going to be the one opinion coming out of this one way that I'm playing it. If you guys seen other ways of playing it and you have a different, like, perspective out of it, good. That's what it should be like, I think. Depending on how you play it, you could either hate it or you like it. And I think that for me, I'm kind of in the between right now, because there's some parts I hate a lot with a passion because of how inconsistent it is to a Batman characteristics wise. And then there's some places I love it because they got to scenes that I kind of really remember a lot of, and I enjoy still going through those kind of sequences, like the Catwoman and Batman versus, or Bruce and Selina versus Harley and Joker. That's the best scene by far in this game, and I still would love to keep replaying that every now and then. And then there's a lot of moments where I got to at least romance Selina in some capacity, but then again, I felt kind of empty-handed considering how there was no, like, ending to say goodbye with her in any way. We only get to say goodbye to Alfred and Tiffany. No Catwoman in between. It's like they kind of skimped out on the whole ending there. I was confused by it because of that. But at least we got to see how Batman kind of closes out his books with Joker, so that's good. Though I do think Waller has something hiding up her sleeves. We just haven't seen it yet. Maybe because I chose the wrong pathway earlier on to trusting her, I guess. Maybe the idea is that you should stop trusting her while you're fighting against Joker, maybe. That's what I think that might be the case, to kind of get the result that I think I'm supposed to see at the ending there. Because I know there's something up that we just haven't seen yet. And there are some scenes that, of course, are different entirely, I feel like, that I might be missing out on. Which I'm going to probably, like, watch the whole video of, like, all the right choices that you need to make in order to get a good ending for this game, like the best outcome of this game. So I'm going to probably watch that at the end of the series, after the series ends, because I want to see what I want to see what I really want to truly say. Or maybe I should just watch it and then come back and record a sort of follow-up video of, or not follow-up video, but like a little adding to the end of the series. But for now, let me lay out my feelings for what I went through just now. So before I go into it and watch like the good endings, all the best outcome stuff, and then come back to re-record whatever my thought process is. First and foremost, the way I played it was interesting at the very least. I remember back then when I first played the first season of Batman, the Telltale series, and I disliked it because it wasn't really feeling like it was a Batman series, because it truly felt like it's trying to, you know, force a weird Batman style to it, because it's trying to give the player the power to be a different Batman the way the player wants to. Is it a challenge? Yes, but there is only one kind of like very definitive, almost like Batman character that you can never like ever try to change, unless you know almost nothing about Batman. You're walking in it and you're just enjoying whatever the story's being told. That's fine. But again, I came to the conclusion that from the first season, I was like, okay, this is their way of telling the story for Batman. And same goes for here again, where I just kind of like, I felt like there was a certain way that Batman should be played out, but the problem was that some of these choices didn't make sense to me, or some of these things kind of felt like Batman would have been doing it differently in a certain way, but it just failed to do that because it wants to make him look more human, when Batman characteristically in a comic book is human in terms of his relationship, but not human in terms of the way he handles a dangerous scenario, like bomb diffusion or fighting or taking down an enemy. Like, none of that felt like, or most of it felt like it was Batman being more humanistic and making mistakes because it's trying to make the player connect to Batman. But I feel like it skimps out on the fact that it fails to make Batman look like Batman. It makes Batman look like us, which is a double-edged blade, I think. It's a double-edged sword. It makes Batman look really not like Batman, and it makes Batman look like us at the very least. So that's why I feel like that's where it kind of constrained the story a lot more. It's like it's just really holding itself by the ropes, trying to make sure that players are like saying it's Batman. It's not us. It's a Batman. Like if anything, if we made fault in our end, I would say anything that, like, if we made a fault in the game, we blame it on Batman. So that's like the one side of things. And then if it's like, oh, it's my fault, I actually made that mistake. Okay, well, I misinterpret whatever that's being said. Then that's where it's pretty much at for the Batman scenes sometimes. So I think this is a very cool experiment of a game still. I mean, we need more of it, but at the same time, we kind of need, like, we need to kind of try to keep improving instead of, like, writing ourselves on the spot to a point where it's harder to write a thing that makes sense to something that exists. That's the problem with, like, this game in general. It's writing something that's trying to make it its own, but at the same time, there's too much, like, Batman comic books and other Batman games and movies and shows that exist that just overshadows this game's, like, trying to kind of cover all that kind of stuff. Like, it's trying to go at any point that it wants, but it's still a good experimentation. It's still something that I think is valuable to somebody who's trying to make a branching narrative out of an existing IP, I'd say. And I still think Telltale at the time would still be ambitious and try to carry on with something ambitious as this is. I am surprised that they kind of skimped out on episode 4 and 3 still. Like, they shortened them a little bit. Actually, episode 4 was shortened by a lot, while episode 3 was shortened by a little bit. And then all of that time was pushed into episode 5, which is fair, I guess, because it's the climactic ending. But I feel like there's another ending to it, but I just haven't seen it yet. I mean, I feel like Waller's still another villain that we just didn't get to meet at all. So I kind of felt like we skipped out on that a little bit. And, yeah, because Joker was villain number 1, but Amanda's probably villain number 2, I feel like. So it's just kind of weird that we didn't get to see that. And also the way I played it up to that point also felt anticlimactic. Like, I just felt like the ending just got skipped out. Like, there was no such thing as a good ending that I just bumped into in this game. Instead, it was just like, nope, you didn't choose the right path. Get out, Roz. You don't get to play anymore. And I'm just like, I didn't even get to see the good stuff. I just went through whatever you gave me, and I just resulted in this pile of a mess. Like, Tiffany was the best ending. That was it. Like, we got a sidekick or a person who will eventually become a hero of their own, and, like, that's it. No Catwoman talked to us at the final moment. No Gordon talking to us at the final moment. No, well, Alfred was talking at the final moment, but the mistake was made by there. Like, why was there even an option to shut him up? Like, that makes no sense. You're supposed to get a closing story, but there was an option that says no, don't listen. I was just like, why? All right. Anyways, that's my final thoughts in general. I will leave myself some room before the next episode, or not next episode, before I close this series out. So I will take a cut here after this little talk here, and you'll see me return, and I will be watching through the. I'll be making a quick glance through the best outcomes, like all the best outcome video. I saw that earlier, so I'm gonna watch through that and make myself evaluate what scenes I could have made better choices on, and then also kind of like bring to the table what the good outcome looks like, and then kind of give my opinion on top of what I've learned on my side of things. So I'll be right back. It'll be very quick. It's a very very quick cut, and then I'll close out the series from there. So give me a quick watch, and I'll be back. Alrighty, welcome back to me literally just watching the whole alternate side of the game. What the hell, dude? What the hell? Okay, so basically the options in order to get to that good sort of ending, I guess I would say, very, very good ending maybe, or the best ending I guess you can get from this game. It starts at episode 4-ish, but it builds up from episode 1 through 3 at the very least. Man, I let Waller get in under my skin. Holy hell, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, so now that I know the truth behind actually what's going on, I am surprised. So this is a spoiler for those who wants to replay this to kind of, or play this on their own and stuff like that. But I mean, if you watch this with me and you're just kind of finding a different person for a different perspective of the game, definitely I'm the guy here apparently. But the choices I've made really screw things up. Like, I don't know, the way that I played it kind of felt like the true Batman, honestly, minus the Alfred choice. But the only side I think that got skimped out was the fact that you needed to side with Joker almost through all the choices, almost all through the choices. I don't think I saw all the choices that was being made, but I saw the whole alternative scene that was literally what the whole game was going through. I skimmed through it. I didn't really sit down and just watch the whole thing, but wow. So basically Tiffany, in actuality, is an agent. She's part of the agency. What the fudge? Why is that even a thing? That makes zero sense to me. I mean, she did kind of admit to killing Riddler, so I was right. So it was true that Waller supplied her with those tools, and that not only that, Tiffany was the one who got provided by things from the agency, and she kind of just hides the fact that she's actually working with the agency just to side with me. That was the really most weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life, and yet it didn't take that path to place it onto here, on how I played it. Instead, they made it into her being a vigilante, and that she's my sort of, like, sidekick in a sense, or, like, my protege is the best word for there. In general, it's really hard to say that the other ending is any better. I think the other ending is better in the terms that we get to talk to Joker again, but in a much more one-on-one style of ways, and that we are also seeing his mayhem be much more saner than the one that we went through just now, where he sent out a bunch of, like, gas. I do think the gas around the city is better of a storytelling mechanic versus the one that they chose, where they basically let Waller get captured by Joker, and that Joker literally just gave in onto the fact that he needs to kill Waller in order to end the madness that she has left in the city. So that's pretty much what pretty much what was gauged from what I just, like, looked through in terms of the alternative version of this episode 5. So basically it's either I let Waller become sort of the main villain that Joker tries to try to do his way of ending the villainy of hers, or I turn Joker into the actual villain that he supposedly is, and get a really cool ending with Catwoman and all that jazz. So there's two literal, like, whole branches of game storytelling stuff here. So that is why I think that this was a very ambitious title, I guess, because of the fact that they really did invest in multiple alternative paths just to make sure that it's a different experience for somebody else and a different experience for somebody else. If you want to play, like, the Batman way, obviously you get the hitches and, like, not the hitches like literal hitches, but, like, the sort of, like, bad stuff that needs to happen to some of the more normal stuff you would see in Batman kind of happening to you at the very least. And I think that's the point of what I saw right there. And then if you want to go with the very not normal path of what Batman normally do by siding with Joker and putting Waller up for grabs by Joker, which is actually one of the spoiled scene that I saw. That's the pathway that had it. Then that's when we'll probably be able to see a sort of alternative picture of what Joker would have looked like and what Tiffany would have looked like. Because I think overall the main people who we need to worry the most about was Joker and Tiffany, and that's it. Like, everyone else just kind of felt like just writing on the wall. They're just there just to support the characters, to kind of build themselves out of whatever they want it to be like in the end of this game. So yeah, overall I do think that the other pathway is good in some capacity, but they were bad in some parts of it, where, like, Tiffany no longer becomes sort of like the person we wanted her to be, which is, like, to be Lucius's actual daughter and take up his mantle and be the protege that she's supposed to be. Instead, she goes back to the agency, and she becomes the agents, like them, sacrificing their life for nothing, honestly. Because all the agencies do are sacrificial lamb to whatever the government wants them to be. It's so stupid that the agency existed in this game to begin with. But at the same time, yeah, I just think that the agency is just I guess just a tail to chase that we were chasing, instead of the actual true villains, which were the villains that we normally did. I guess that's the unique part of it, is that they're trying to make you have two faces of the coin kind of thing, where you choose which side you want to, like, say is the true villain behind of it all. It's either you say the psychopaths aren't the villains or the typical Batman villains are not the villains, or you say that the agency's the villain, and you need to literally do whatever you can to kind of stop them. So it kind of made it interesting to see in the front of what you get to choose behind the whole story. But I feel dissatisfied because we didn't get to have Catwoman at the ending there, and also I felt the fact that we skimped out on Alfred's choice of words made the ending a bit more sour for me personally, and so I guess that's how it is. I mean, that's what I get for making the wrong moves. But then again, I still blame the fact that the option kind of made it weird, I guess. Like, it's not a two-speech option or one that says blended in between, but instead it was one that just shuts down somebody really hard. So it's just like, nah. Alright, but anyways, thank you guys for watching. Anyways, this is it for the Batman The Enemy Within series. Let me know what you think of my choices, if you feel like it was appropriate to how Batman should have been, minus the whole Alfred situation at the end. I really don't really know how much better I would have went with it. I think this was the closest to the actual Batman series would have been, but I felt like there's probably a few choices that might have been better picked if I was to know what led into what, if I knew ahead of time. But of course, we were playing this blindly, so that's how it is. But if you want to get the game yourself, I'll leave a link down below for all the stores, all the platforms that you can purchase this game on digitally. And I mean, again, if you guys want to see the alternative endings and stuff, I recommend you buy the game and play it for yourself. I, for one, will probably be sitting there and rewatching all the good choices for what it is on YouTube, just to kind of catch up to see if I really felt, better about the other one. I mean, I might have a different opinion by the time I rewatch the alternative ending stuff. But I think ultimately I might feel like my choice of what I led up to here is way better than the other thing that I just saw, which didn't look like good outcomes to me in my opinion. But I don't know, the idea that Batman is fighting this alone sort of thing is the problem with this game a little bit with the storytelling, and I think that's the end of it all. It's just the idea that you can either do this alone. No. It's either you side with the villains to kind of do what you want to do, because obviously the game is about not being alone in this whole fight. But it's either you side with the villains to do the things that you need to do correctly, or you side with the non-villains, the normal people, to try to take down whatever is truly that you truly think is right. So, I mean, at least some people won't die if I chose the other path, but the other path was a little bit more tame in terms of in terms of telling the story. But that's what I think it is with the other ending, which is the best choice, is what they call it. So what else is there? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, so description box, places where you can get the game on the platforms that it's available on. And last but not least, thank you guys for watching this game and following me through this all the way to the end of the series. Is there going to be another Batman series like this, like with Telltale Games, if they even have a chance to do another one? I mean, I have hope, but I don't think it will work out easily, considering that all the villains have been almost all the villains have been used. Like Penguin, the best they could have is Penguin, Joker, and Two-Face come back and then just do whatever. But this time it would be them balancing with the agency a bit more hardly, I guess. Maybe, like, I don't know, maybe the freaking agency comes back somehow because of the reasons. And then somebody's taking up the mantle of the new the new Riddler. I mean, like, it would be interesting to see, but I highly doubt it. But I think this is like a good snippet to just, or not snippet, a good closing game for the series, and that there shouldn't be any more. If there is any more, it's a challenge to make, and also it would be really weird because you got so much loose ends that you had to tie up again by that point. Like, you had to like start off with some loose ends being opened up again, so it's kind of the weird thing, of course. yeah, that's pretty much that. If you also are interested in more Batman game stuff on my channel, I have also played the first Telltale Batman, which will probably be the annotation or the end screen link that if you want to check that series out to see what I did in the first season. I do again apologize because I kind of moved places around a little bit, and then I came back to this scene of the background that I am and all the machine stuff in the first season, but of course everything kind of finished out anyways the way it should be. And last but not least, if you also want to see other Batman Arkham series that I've played on, I have also played them through all the way to the very end. Arkham Asylum, City, and Night. I haven't done Origins, and I haven't done the Blackgate Batman games, which I believe I'll probably do eventually. It's just not, I'm just not certain when I want to do it yet, but it will come eventually. But otherwise, I really enjoy the Batman series, like the way they're being told sometimes, and I just kind of like to explore what they brought into the table to see if there's anything new that I can learn of Batman-wise or villain-wise, and see what kind of story they're being told, of course, with those particular games. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for this series, and this is it for the video. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'm sorry for extending this whole conversation thing. I mean, I want to give it my whole take onto videos to kind of like leave it on the table, and then you can dissect and think about what you agree on and what you disagree on. It's totally fine. Otherwise, I think that over time I will probably change in my thoughts, because I probably might revisit this game via video or something and just think about it much more vividly in some better way, but we'll see, I guess. Other than that, that's pretty much it for the series. So thank you guys again for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next game or another series of mine on the Cheerios on the channel. Yeah, other than that, I guess that's mostly that. All right, Roz out.